Colby Covington, Darren Till, and Tyron Woodley. We never got to speak about that last week. Of course, that all broke and happened after last week's episode.
Yes, you're right. We speculated it was on the horizon, so to say, and the rumors had been out there, and there had been some questions on whether or not, I guess, Tyron Woodley was not interested in fighting Darren Till, and Colby Covington, they were rumored to be stripping him of the title, and basically all of that came to fruition. Colby Covington, at this point, has been stripped of the interim title is it still undisclosed why he couldn't fight? Still
Apparently
undisclosed.
He has a nasal issue. He has to have like a very small procedure done on his nose, so he said he couldn't fight then. In Colby's defense, listen, I talked some shit last week to the media. I was only having a bit of fun. By this point, I was maybe 3 beers deep and just being a little bit silly for the sake of it. And then you see it back on Twitter the next day, the actual words that you said, and you're like, oh, shit, did I really say that? Listen, personal feelings about Colby Covington aside, he won the interim belt. He did, but I always said interim belts aren't worth the leather that they're printed on, and the UFC ultimately could do whatever they want, and they've stripped him. It's a shame for Colby Covington. I do feel for him in this situation. He did just fight. It wasn't that long ago, but they stripped him. That's that. Talking about it, breaking it down, talking shit about the UFC isn't going to change anything. They stripped him. And he's gone. He's yesterday's news. He ain't going to the White House. He ain't putting the belt on President Trump's desk because he's no longer the fucking champion. And he was never the champion to start with. Tyron Woodley is a very dominant champion. He's defended it against the best of the best. He's the champ. They've stripped him, and now it's Darren Till on deck. A lot of people are bitching, saying that Darren Till didn't make weight last time. All right, he didn't make weight, but he did get a win over Stephen Thompson, who was the number 1 contender before that. It was a close win over Wonderboy, but again, a win is a win. What are your thoughts on this, Lewis?
I like Till a lot. I think Till's a badass, and I like him, and I do think it's just, I don't know. Maybe I am overly critical. Maybe I am a conspiracy theorist, but it's just, I would have liked to see Till have a true number 1 contender victory, no issues with weight, clear-cut victory, really go out there, and it just seems a little bit premature. I understand why, you kind of need somebody else there, and Tyron hasn't been making it easy. Tyron hasn't been jumping at fighting anybody either, so you kind of need to make it happen. But yeah, I think it's fun. It's good. Look, Covington, I don't like the fact that I've been drumming up emotional interest in Colby Covington for fucking 6 months and starting to hate him and starting to want to see him get his ass kicked by Tyron Woodley. I want to see that fight. So the reality is, as a fan, I'm a little bit disappointed that I'm not going to see that now. However, Dana White did come out and say that Covington's going to face the winner of Tyron Woodley, Darren Till. But, at this point, now it has me sort of rooting for Tyron in that fight just because I do want to see Covington Tyron.
I never knew that. So Dana said Covington gets the winner.
Yeah.
All right. So any sympathy that I had for him is out the window because he's still got his title shot. No,
Same
it's true.
shit.
It's
Same
true.
shit.
As much as I think he's a fucking weapon, I didn't feel sorry. I sympathized with him a little bit, because he was the interim champ. Then they took it off and he lost his title shot. But if he gets to fight the winner, then that makes perfect sense from the UFC's perspective. It really does. Okay, you can't fight now. Well, we're going to do a title fight with somebody else. You get the winner. Yeah. So, hold on. When you put it like that, that actually makes perfect sense. Now, let's talk about Darren Till, Tyron Woodley. I like Darren Till in this fight. I really do. Because, listen, Tyron Woodley's great. Tyron Woodley's a great wrestler. Tyron Woodley is a powerful striker. Tyron Woodley's got the experience. He's been in the UFC longer. He's probably a better athlete. But he hasn't fought for a while. It hasn't been too long, but it's been over a year, so there will be a little bit of ring rust as a factor. So that kind of tips in Darren Till's favor, and on top of that, I think the fight's happening in just over 6 weeks, and Tyron Woodley hasn't been training for a lot of it because he had the bad shoulder. For the last year, he hasn't necessarily been certainly hasn't been fighting. He hasn't been training that much, if I'm not mistaken. So that kind of, again, goes to Darren Till's favor. And let's remember, Darren Till just fought a few weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, whatever it was. So again, he's fresh. He just went 5 rounds with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in a tough, close, technical fight. So all those things on paper kind of, they tip the balance in Darren Till's favor. It doesn't mean he'll win. but it means in terms of the circumstances, he's got a leg up. He's got an advantage. He's got a head start in terms of preparation, etc., etc. But you got to remember Tyron Woodley is the champion for a reason. Yeah. What is that reason? Because he keeps beating the best people out there. You know, he's got great takedown defense, but he's got very good takedowns. And if you remember, Stephen Thompson took Darren Till down at one point in that fight pretty easily. Now, I would say that was pretty easily because Till wasn't expecting it. You know, the surprise factor is a big thing when it comes to takedowns. Of course, Till's going to be working his takedown defense like crazy. But congrats, Darren Till. Congrats, UK MMA.
Yeah.
You know, me being the only fucking British champion didn't last very long, did it? Jesus Christ. Darren, do me a favor, buddy. Next time, just give me a little bit longer in the limelight.
Well, he didn't win yet. Don't fucking look past Tyron Woodley. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I do like Darren Till, but I think that is a very, very tall task, even with the time off. And didn't Tyron have a long layoff before? I believe he did, right? Like 2 years almost, right? Yeah. Did you chat me that? All right.
Yeah. Well, no. It is. Listen, it's a very tough fight for Darren Till. It's a tough fight for Tyron Woodley. It is. It's a very tough fight for both of them. And both guys have a path to victory. We'll see. The thing is, Tyron Woodley has beaten Stephen Wonderboy Thompson twice in a row, right? And I think when you look at Darren Till and you look at Wonderboy, they're very similar people. Yeah. Similar height, similar skills, similar backgrounds. And if Woodley beat Thompson twice, you've got to lean towards the fact that he can probably beat Till. Now, I'm not saying he will, but I'm saying on paper you can make that argument, you know?
The only data I can really kind of take in from this is the last time I saw a muscular black wrestler fight a tall, pale British striker was UFC 79 in Newark, New Jersey.
78
in Newark, New Jersey with one Rashad Evans and Michael Bisping. I see the similarities here, and whereas look, I saw you winning that fight. I think most of the country saw you winning that fight. You know, I would say it was a clear robbery. Most people feel that way, but Rashad Evans did get his hand raised there, and I think I'm going to go with the black muscly wrestler over the tall, skinny Brit.
All right, well, I guess that will remain to be seen. Darren Till, if you're listening, I wish you nothing but the best in fight camp. I really do. And representing Great Britain to the fullest. I'll leave race, nationality, all that stuff out of it. May the best man win. Let's take a moment to talk about our sponsor, betdsi.com. They're always with us every week. And we'll take a second to talk about the fight that's happening this weekend with TJ Dillashaw and Cody Garbrandt. Lewis, go ahead.
Doggy, this is the reality is MMA is built around grudge matches. When you have guys that really hate each other, you know, it sells itself. It doesn't even matter. That's the exact thing you want to see. And these two guys truly, truly hate each other. I'm really, really excited to see it. I think Garbrandt, everyone thought it was going to be the next coming of Jesus. And then Dillashaw came out and was able to win that fight. And it was, I don't know, it's very dramatic. I'm excited about it. It's a pick 'em fight. I don't even know how do you pick this fight. The only thing I can say is that Dillashaw did it once. I think he can do it again. There's nothing that makes me believe that Dillashaw is any less of a strong fighter. These are two guys walking into the cage again. Is there anything glaring in your mind that makes you think that Garbrandt's going to be able to do the job this time?
Well, if you look at both of them, obviously both incredible fighters, but Cody Garbrandt apparently had a bad back going into that fight. Now, that sounds like a bit of an excuse, but it was a back-and-forth fight. Garbrandt dropped him, TJ dropped him, and then TJ finished him. So it was a close fight. It was back and forth, and the apparent back injury didn't seem to be bothering Cody Garbrandt when he dropped TJ. So, you know, I'm a little bit apprehensive about that playing too much of a factor. Either way, incredible fight. Two great guys, and if you want to put some money on it, go to betdsi.com. I think we're going to break it down in a bonus show later in the week, and we'll really get into it then, and we'll talk about the whole card from top to bottom. But yeah, if you want to put some money on it, of course, it's always more interesting, and if you listen to the show, you know where we're going with this. With betdsi.com, as you know, the promo code used to be me25, but due to my expert fight analysis and predictions. Too many people won. Too many people won with the promo code Me25 and the 200% bonus match. So unfortunately, they had to switch things up a little, but we've still got a fantastic offer for you. So the new promo code that you need to use, go to betdsi.com and use the promo code BYM120. So you register, you use the promo code BYM120, you get 120% bonus match on your money. So it's still a fantastic deal. Let's say, for example, you put down $100, that bet will become $220. Put down $200. Oh God, I've set myself up here. That bet will become, I don't know, I haven't got a calculator, or it's been a long day. Put down $10, it will become $22. I know that. So anyway, use the promo code BYM120, put 100 down, it becomes 220, so on and so forth. And yeah, there you go, BYM120. Go to betdsi.com, win some money. May the best man win. What have we got, Lewis? What else have we got to talk about?
Let's see. Anything else in the notes that was interesting? Nothing really. And we got some questions here. We got to wrap up somewhat soon.
Yeah. Well, we've only been going for an hour or so I feel like maybe we should talk a little bit longer. But if not, I mean, I'm ready to sign off and say bon voyage. Do we have any good questions? Is there anything personally in your life going on, Lewis, that the good people want to hear?
Anything going on? Nothing really is going on in my life. I don't know. I'm just fucking getting prepared for this fight. Just going into this whole crazy thing. It's a whole different mindset. I talked about it last week with you. Different perspective on everything now. It just changes your whole vision. I watched Renzo Gracie. Was that this weekend that he fought?
Renzo Gracie versus Yuki Kondo, I believe. Yeah, it was a few days ago.
Friday night,
in
maybe?
Japan.
Yeah.
Renzo Gracie, 51 years old.
Pull it up from Renzo's Instagram. He actually has the finish. And it's so funny because I'm looking at it from a different perspective now, right? Because I've been doing jiu-jitsu and MMA and it's so fucking funny, like when you just train a little bit, even just how much of a different perspective. And I have so much respect for the way you analyze it now. Turn the volume down.
Let's watch this.
So yeah, you'll see.
Press play. I want to watch this.
You see the finish. It's really cool. You can give it a little volume. It was just loud as shit.
So there we go. Takes him down. Takes the back.
Yeah. Perfect.
Definitely looking for a rear naked choke here. Some punches.
Yeah. Gets the choke, taps him out. But watch the takedown. This is like... There we go.
Nice.
Now turn the volume off and start and let it play again.
Put that volume down. Wow.
Yeah, it's really loud. So let it play again. So look, let's say this is what I learned like in jiu-jitsu. Like already I know like if you pause it, Jesus Christ.
What are you doing?
So go ahead. Now pause it here when he goes to take him down. When he actually takes him down. Go ahead. So pause it here. So here's the thing that I learned in jiu-jitsu, right? So even right there, I just wouldn't even notice this unless I fucking took a class, right? He gets that first hook in, which is the bottom hook, which is the most important one. You got to have the bottom one in first. Even just knowing that, just fucking, it's kind of, I'm looking at it just from like a different perspective now. It's kind of crazy. And then you'll see he hits the ground, right? And he already's got that deep hook in, and then he just has to put the other one in, and then it's fucking over. It's a Gracie on your back. But I'm just looking at little things like that technique-wise that I've never even considered before and realizing like it's just a whole different world. So this is like when you talk about the fights, like it's difficult to even keep up before like at all. Like when you have like a real conversation, I feel like an asshole when I'm trying to like analyze it as a fan who had never trained before. But now that I'm training, I'm looking at things in such a different light, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely I do. And see, that's the thing. And the more that you learn about it, the more, you know, the more questions you have, you know what I'm saying? Because you understand things and you understand why they're doing it and then the consequences and just little things where people's feet go or foot positioning or underhooks and things like that. You understand why we do it. I mean, it is so technical. Of course, you got all these different martial arts. People on the outside who haven't trained at all, they don't, you know, respect the minutiae, those fine little details. But
and also you don't even realize how much is going on when somebody's just fighting for position. People love to boo when it hits the ground and a guy's just trying to like, dude, let me tell you something. When there's two guys, one guy's trying to pass the other guy's guard. He's just going from guard to trying to get side control. The amount of energy that's going in and the centimeters that are involved. Like literally it's like the technique involved with the guys that are really good. It's like centimeters, them like moving their foot over this way or them just, wrapping their ankle around their leg in a certain way where it's like, if you don't really know, it looks like they're just fucking lying there. And then you start to know, and then you start to go like, oh shit, this like, it's pretty insane actually what's happening the whole time. You have a whole other level of respect for it once you kind of train. I recommend anybody who loves the sport and watches the sport, it's definitely humbled me on another level now to go in, train, go through this. I mean, I'm training every single day, and to understand, you know, what these guys go through on a smaller level. But you should do it. And to be honest with you, everyone should learn how to fucking throw a punch.